Every family has its secrets. Locked away behind our front doors are the hidden pasts, the buried scandals, and the life-changing decisions that have shaped our families and our nation.
The conclusion I've always had was my father is responsible for my mother's death.
I've been told that I was connected to the royal family through my father and through the Prince of Wales.
The mafia. Maybe my grandfather had a bigger part to play than I thought.
My brother, he just disappeared. He was gone.
My dad said to us, if you dishonour me, I will take your life.
This is a photo of your dad.
I'm just blown away.
Every family has a secret uncovers the extraordinary stories behind our everyday lives. This time, 2 Australians are searching for the truth about their fathers.
My dad was a major in the Hungarian army.
Peter Eden grew up hearing of his dad's amazing exploits during the Second World War.
According to him, he had been awarded this medal.
By the Nazis.
By the Nazis.
But were the epic stories he told hiding much darker secrets?
All of a sudden, it just hit me that one of those people looked like my father.
And adoptee Derek Pedley interrogates the past of his biological mother.
I got my original birth certificate. This is where I first saw my mother's name.
Hoping it can help him find his father.
Chaz. Could Chaz be my father?
My brother and I grew up around weapons. My father was a very, very good shot. At one point, he had 77 rifles. My dad was a major in the Hungarian army. He told us that if he gave a command, and questioned the command, he would have no hesitation and shoot him on the spot.
Peter Eden's olive farm in South Australia is named Garden of Eden. It's a far cry from his childhood home, where his father ruled with absolute authority.
My dad was a man of extremes. On one hand, he was an extremely loving father and husband. He also had a temper. His anger would be such that he would just totally lose it. He said to us, if you dishonour me, I will take your life. We asked questions about his past, but he wouldn't tell us.
Peter Eden's father, Ashir Topchigic, came to Australia as a refugee in 1950, later changing his name to Alex Eden. But Peter thinks that his father's departure from Europe may also have been an escape from justice. With suspicions that he'd been involved in espionage, extreme politics and anti-Semitic activities, who was Peter's father? And what secrets was he hiding? Hello. Peter.
Hi, Noni, how are you?
I'm really well.
Please, would you like to come in?
Thanks very much.
Have a seat.
Lots of interesting stuff to look at. So, Peter, this adventure's been a long time coming for you, trying to find out about your dad's past.
Yes.
What is it that you hope to find?
I'm hoping to understand him better. He and I had a real love-hate relationship. My life was about wanting to make him proud and wanting to be as good as him. He died in 1992, and I felt that I failed him in many ways.
So this is your dad. He looks quite stern.
Yes, he was quite a tough man. His word was his bond. Telling an untruth was probably the worst thing you could do. Truth and honesty were paramount.
Let's talk about his life when he came to Australia as a refugee. How did he build his life here with your mum?
They had only known each other 6 months before he came to Australia and then asked her to join and marry him. This is their wedding day. She arrived on the 1st of November 1950, and on the 3rd of November they married.
2 days after she arrived?
Yes.
Wow.
She gave up everything and came to a country that she didn't know the language. And
so she couldn't speak any English?
Oh, she couldn't speak any English at all. My father spoke 7 languages. He spoke Russian, Yugoslav, Turkish, Italian, German, Bosnian.
Wow. So you say you had a love-hate relationship with your dad?
Yes, he had a lot of temper. Just the smallest things at times could set him off. My mother did get beatings, and I could never understand how a person could do that to somebody they loved. And in fact, one time I finished up with a screwdriver stuck in the back of my head because he'd thrown the screwdriver like a knife, and I ducked down, and as I ducked down, it stuck in the back of my head.
Oh, goodness. So, in light of this volatility, was it that started you wondering about what kinds of activities he'd been involved with during the war?
Definitely yes. If you've been through traumatic situations like a war, you can become a bit numb to causing pain on others.
So his war experiences sound like they were many and varied.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
He was a major in the Hungarian army, and he told us he had 7 soldiers appointed to him. Their job was to sneak across the Russian border, blow up a bridge or things along those lines. He flew aircraft and he worked in an aircraft factory.
And these medals, were these your dad's?
I'm not 100% sure of which are real, if any. The one that had us mostly intrigued was this one, the Iron Cross with oak leaf and cross swords. This is not a genuine article. He's obviously purchased it, and he said that these were the medals that I had but I couldn't bring with me. So according to him, he had been awarded this medal for very high level of heroism. So
By the Nazis?
By the
By
Nazis.
the Nazis. So what other activities did he say that he was part of during the war years?
I know that he was imprisoned by the Russians, which was about 1946. He told us that because he spoke Russian, he started playing chess with a very famous Russian general by the name of Malinovsky. And Rodion Malinovsky released him because of that friendship, but Malinovsky said to him, if we catch you again, we'll hang you.
Wow. Well, look, let's go back. What do you know about your dad's early life and where he came from?
The difficulty has been that I've got varied information about his background. This is actually my father's birth certificate, which states that he was born in Budapest, 5th of February 1925.
But that would make him 15 in 1940, which clearly he couldn't have been.
Well, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
Because he told us his birth certificate was not real. What I believe may have happened is he was born possibly in Sarajevo in 1919, and then when he was about 5 or 6 years old, his father moved to Budapest, and they did a Hungarian birth certificate so that he'd be a Hungarian citizen. In terms of age, if you look at 1919, then it fits together.
That makes more sense. So this is an extraordinary number of things to have done before you're 30.
Absolutely.
So does it occur to you that some of these things might be fanciful?
Yes.
Right.
I'm questioning whether my father had been completely honest.
Given that potentially things could be uncovered that are deeply unpleasant.
Whatever comes out, I'm prepared for it.
In the 30 years since his father's death, Peter has never stopped searching for the truth about his seemingly extraordinary life. But that research has led to a disturbing discovery.
One day I came across a photograph of a group of men being forced to view the exhumation of bodies. They were part of a group in Hungary called the Arrow Cross. It was a political movement who were affiliated with the German Nazis. And all of a sudden, it just hit me that one of those people on there looked like my father. And I started doing some comparisons with some other photos that I had. I'm almost 100% certain that this photo is of my father. And looking at that, I believed that my father was part of Arrow Cross.
To find out if that's possible, and if his father could be the man in the massacre photograph, Peter has sought out Sydney-based Professor of History, Ruth Ballant.
Hello, Ruth.
It's nice to meet you, Peter.
Ruth's Jewish ancestors were living in Budapest through these dangerous times.
The Arrow Cross was a party modelled fairly explicitly on the German Nazi Party. And in 1939, at the general elections, it actually got a quarter of the votes of the Hungarian population. So this wasn't really a peripheral party despite its extremist views.
With the outbreak of World War II, the government of Hungary allied itself with Germany. And as the Nazis redrew Europe's borders, Hungary took back some of the territories it had lost after World War I. But as the tide of the war turned and tens of thousands of its soldiers were lost fighting Hitler's battles, Hungary tried to back out of the German alliance. This, of course, was not acceptable to Hitler, and in March 1944, Germany invaded Hungary, toppling the government and handing power to the fascist, anti-Semitic Arrow Cross Party. A reign of terror followed.
Within one night of the Arrow Cross taking power, gangs of youths roam the streets of Budapest to assault Jewish people at will. Hundreds are killed on that first night alone. The Arrow Cross attacked the Maros Street Hospital. They murdered staff members. They took the survivors out into the street and made them dig their own grave before they were shot. The photograph that you are talking about is when members of the Arrow Cross, who are believed to have been responsible for this atrocity, are made to line up in front of exhumed bodies.
Oh my God, that's a lot to take in. I knew that he was anti-Semitic, but if somebody had said to me, would this be a person that would be taking Jews out on the street and shooting them, I would not have said that. It was our understanding that his greatest fear was the Russians finding him. But from what you're now saying, it's possible that he also needed to keep very low key from possible war crimes.
It's a possibility, but I also think, Peter, we still need to determine whether the man in the photograph is indeed your father.
Yes, absolutely.
I am going to try and make a positive identification by checking records in Hungary.
Thank you very much. It's one thing to take life in a war where people are shooting at each other through trenches. It's another thing to march people out onto a street, dig their own grave and shoot them. That's going to be a lot for me to cope with, I know that.
Having grown up believing his father was a war hero, Peter now faces the possibility his dad was, in truth, a war criminal. In Perth, journalist Derek Pedley is also searching for the truth about his father.
Origin stories are an incredibly important thing to adoptees because we don't get one, or the one that we're given isn't the truth. I've really tried to stop myself thinking about my father too much because I figured it doesn't serve me at all to wonder about someone I'm never going to be able to track down. I'm almost 50 now and I have a natural curiosity. It's one of the reasons I became a journalist. And this is the most important story in my life. It's my story.
Newspaper journalist and author Derek Pedley was born in 1972 and he grew up in regional Western Australia. At the age of 15, while rifling for loose change in his parents' bedroom, he stumbled on a secret that would send his whole life spinning out of orbit. It was the beginning of a difficult, emotional and ongoing search to find his place in the world. Derek.
Hi, Noni.
G'day.
How you going?
I'm good, nice to meet you.
You too. Please come in.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Derek, you made a pretty remarkable discovery when you were a young teenager. Can you tell me about that?
I was looking through Mum and Dad's bedroom and I came across an envelope. So I've opened it up and the first thing that I've seen is that it was a matter in the adoption of Abraham Simon Madison. And my first thought on seeing that was that poor boy. I thought Abraham was a pretty heavy-duty name to give a boy in the 20th century. I turned it over and started reading, and there's Mum and Dad's name. It says, for an order of adoption of Abraham Simon Madison, born on the 3rd of May 1972 at Subiaco. And I've gone, I was born on May 3, 72 in Subiaco too. And then it was then that I've read that the child shall hereafter be known as Derek John Pedley. And I just sat there and sat there and sat there staring at that name. It changed everything for me.
So did you raise this with your adoptive parents at the time, or
I did not
bury it?
I buried it. Just the word adoption, it was like a... It stung me, just hearing the word out loud. It would make me get very strange.
So at what point did you contemplate tracing your birth parents?
Well, at 17 I got a cadetship in journalism at the West Australian and moved to Perth. I got to learn the basics of journalism, including drinking, and started to learn how to drink pretty seriously. I was deeply depressed, so I started seeing a psychologist. He said, you need to find out your family medical history. So that's when I began the process.
And what did you discover?
So I got my original birth certificate. The most important thing, of course, is this is where I first saw my mother's name written down. And it's Joyce Patricia Madison. So I registered with Adoption Jigsaw in Perth. A couple of weeks after I gave them my details, Jigsaw have rung me and said, we found your mother, Joyce Patricia Madison, who lives in the Northern Territory, and she can't wait to speak to you. That just blew me away, that she was obviously so keen to meet me. So I fly to Darwin, I go down and I stand on the esplanade and I see a woman walk towards me and she held out her hand to shake my hand and I just hugged her. And my memories of that time are pretty hazy because of all the alcohol, but I remember that moment. I won't forget that moment.
You have some photos of her?
I do have some photos. This is my mother in... That's July 71.
A redhead?
So that's the month before I was conceived.
What had she told you about the circumstances of your birth?
She couldn't tell me anything about my father. She sort of gave the general impression that it was a one-night stand.
Right.
And that was as close as she got to revealing anything to me.
So you kept this relationship going with your birth mum?
I did. I was in contact with her, but I spiralled downwards. Oh, it was hard bloody work, Noni, because I was just so messed up. I was drinking a lot. I kept doing really silly things. She went from unconditional love to, I can't help you, this is too hard, in the space of about a year. She pretty much decided that she was done with me.
So there was an estrangement, in other words, between you and your birth mother?
2004 was the last communication I ever had with my mother.
What happened to her?
In June 2013, my phone rang and it was a stranger's voice. And she said, you don't know me, but I have to tell you Joy's dead. And that's it, any hope that I had for reconciliation with her.
It's gone.
Around about the same time, Joy's best friend, Faye, contacted me. She says in an email, I've got this letter here that your mother wrote. I was going to send it to you when she died, but I was a bit worried that you might destroy it. She wrote this letter in April, May 1972, as she's laying in bed in hospital.
Postpartum?
And just before. So this is the letter. In it, she's speaking to me and to God. I'm sitting here just waiting for them to tell me I can see Abraham. I want to keep him so badly, but I don't know if it's the right thing to do. Even now, I feel alone and frightened. What more can I say, my son? Only that I love you so much it hurts and fills me with sadness. Help me, my son. Help me. And I read this letter and I knew instantly she did not want to surrender me at all. And it's the first inkling I had of understanding it all, I suppose.
So, Derek, what do you want the next stage to be? Where do you want to go with all of this now?
There was a particular line in the letter. I think I should tell you something about your father. This is very sad because I didn't love him in the way that I should have, but after all, he is your father. He doesn't even know that he has a son. I would love to know who my father is. That's the one thing that I was never, ever going to get to find out. So I would like to know where this has come from. It's been broken a few times, but I want to know my history.
Without a name or an accurate description, Derek's best hope of tracking down his father may be through genetics. But while he awaits his DNA results, Derek's meeting Joy's best friend, hoping she can provide some clues to his dad's identity. Faye Alexander knew Joy from the early 70s, when they were both poor waitresses living in share houses, and cheap meals and op shops were the order of the day.
So, Faye, how did you and Joy meet?
So we met when she came over to visit at a house that I was living in. and I immediately liked her. She had a good feeling about her. That was probably only about 6 months after she'd given you up. But now when I look back on that, I can see that she was a troubled person. It was late 72, I think, yeah.
That was the start of a lifelong friendship with Joy, yes?
Yes, pretty much so. We always kept in touch.
I have some photos I'd like to show you.
Oh, good.
This is a fascinating picture for me because Joy's pregnant in this picture.
So you're there.
I am. And she's with a tall, thin man whose identity, at least to me, remains unknown.
Yes, well, it's certainly unknown to me as well. But who knows, it could well be your father.
So when you were living together, did you get any kind of hint at all from Joy of what had occurred?
No, nothing. She certainly never let on that she'd just had a child.
And when Joy finally did tell you of my existence, did she tell you anything at all about my father?
No, only that she wasn't going to tell me who it was. Yeah.
But Joy did entrust Faye to be the keeper of her most personal possessions.
Maybe you will be able to find something in these diaries, which I don't believe you've seen.
No. So there could be some clues in there?
There could be some clues in there.
Fantastic. Wow. The idea that Faye came into Joy's life just after she had to surrender me really is comforting because they became lifelong friends. But I don't know how you can have such a close friendship and not confide your deepest secret. I think the things that she kept locked away in her head, she committed them to paper instead. And I can't help but think, could these diaries contain clues to my father's identity?
In Perth, Derek Pedley is hoping his mother Joy's diaries, written during the years following his birth, will reveal the truth about his conception.
The diaries are from 1972 and 73, and there could be clues, perhaps, to my father's identity, but there's no 1971 diary. It makes me think she only started writing in the diaries after she surrendered me, as a way, perhaps, of coping with what she'd been through. A little black book. The initials of Joy's name, Joyce Patricia Madison, and the initials of my name, Abraham Simon Madison. It's good to know that she was thinking about me. Chaz. Joy never really told me about any of the relationships that she had with men. I know there is no chance of getting it together again with him, but I allow myself to dream. Well, it seems like she loves this guy Chaz very deeply, but she's really struggling with it. It sounds like they're not together anymore. So this is October 73, so that's about 18 months or so since I was born. Chaz, I don't want to love the guy in the way I do. Oh, shit. That line echoes what Joy wrote in the letter, of course. I don't want to love the guy the way I do. And in her 72 letter to me, she wrote, I didn't love your father the way I should. Wow. That hadn't even occurred to me. Chaz. Could Chaz be my father?
In Adelaide, Peter Eden is seeking the truth about his father Alex's wartime activities in Hungary. He fears that intense nationalism and anti-Semitic views could have led his father to commit war crimes. But where had these extremist views taken root?
My father's father, his name was Mujaga Topčigić. They were very close, and I think a lot of my father's beliefs would have come from Mujaga and from the people around him.
Hi, I'm Peter.
I'm Jan.
Hello,
Very nice to
good to meet you.
Professor of European History, Jan Lanicek,
has looked into the environment in which Peter's father was raised.
So, Peter, I know that you are interested in the history of your father.
Yes.
But we also wanted to talk to you a bit about your grandfather. So, we know that he ran several cafes or bars in Budapest. Sometimes he was successful, sometimes less successful.
Yes.
We have a document which is from 1925.
Oh, okay, 1925. Muyaga Topchagic, wearing a tattered pullover, he greets me with steaming black coffee. In the meantime, the door constantly opens, young men keep entering. The well-known pins on their coat lapel. The well-known pins on their coat lapel.
The pin, it was a kind of sign of one radical Hungarian group called Association of Awakening Hungarians. They were very strongly anti-Jewish. And they regularly met in your grandfather's pub.
Really?
Yeah.
So that was a precursor to the Arrow Cross?
Yes.
Ah, I see.
So there's another document I would like to show to you. It's from a newspaper.
Oh, this is... Okay, we're looking at 1923, 31st of August. A group of policemen with revolvers drawn entered a restaurant whose proprietor is Muyaga Topchagic. Members of the Association of Awakening Hungarians regularly dine in the basement room. The police platoon rushed in with revolvers drawn and called upon the Awakening members at the table with these words, "Hands up, nobody moves." Then everyone was placed under arrest. Wow. Is there any more you know about what happened there?
So we know that some members of the Awakening were preparing bomb plots or terror attacks on the synagogue in Budapest.
Wow.
With some people being killed during the attacks.
That's some amazing information. I guess it's also helping explain where my father was going because, you know, when he had these influences going on around him through his father, then obviously that had to pass down. The journey so far regarding my father has now even strengthened my thoughts about him being involved with Arrow Cross that seemed to fit with his character and with what I knew of the background. The part that I'm having difficulty with, I'll admit, is the level of anti-Semitism. I do understand Arrow Cross were quite strongly anti-Semitic, and I would never have considered my father to be violently anti-Semitic.
As a displaced person, Peter's father, Ashir Topchagic, arrived in Australia in May 1950, reinventing himself as Alex Eden. But what secrets had he left behind?
The person getting off the ship in 1950 would have been someone looking for a new start. Any criminal activity, murders or genocide, he wanted to leave that well behind him. So I think it was very much about remaining incognito and hoping he's not found.
Peter has come to Sydney to meet intelligence expert Dr. John Fay, who's been looking into the claims Peter's father made about his military career and other wartime exploits.
Well, I suppose the starting point really is this document here. This is the information he provided to the Australian authorities in order to enter Australia.
Date of birth, 5th of the 2nd, 1925. Okay. Languages, English slight, German slightly, Russian nil. As far as I'm aware, he spoke 7 languages, and Russian was one of those.
Well, this is certainly what he's provided. So there's an element there that doesn't quite ring true. Now, this is his employment history that he provided to the Australian authorities.
That covers his whole period from 1933 through to November 49. So I can see he was a student, then an apprentice locksmith. I was aware that he was an instrument inspector, so they all make sense. And also doing aircraft repairs in a airframe factory. But no mention of his military career.
Correct. There's a couple of problems with the idea of a military career because he doesn't appear in any of the documentation for graduates of their officer training establishments. And for a young man to reach the rank of major, when he's been working in a factory till 1944, 45, it's just implausible. There's no way he could ever have been a major in the Hungarian army.
Okay.
The claims of having flown aircraft, they don't let just anybody fly an aircraft. You have to be a fully qualified pilot. That takes time.
Yeah, I did question that at times, but we were also under the belief our father was involved in guerrilla partisan type activities, going into Russian areas and blowing bridges and causing havoc. Has there been anything?
No, nothing. So I would discount all talk of guerrilla warfare. Operating in that environment in 1945 was a death sentence. And look about the medals, the German medals, they get awarded with the approval of the Hungarian government, and that would have all been on record, and none of that exists. So we can also remove the medals from the story as well.
Right. My understanding is that he had been in prison by the Russians from 46 to 47. There's no mention of that in this document.
No.
He had said that he was a guest of General Malinovsky.
Yeah.
And that he played chess with Malinovsky, and Malinovsky released him in 47.
Well, look, what we've got here is a letter from the daughter of Malinovsky. That's the original Cyrillic, and that's the translation of that.
In response to your letter, I can say one thing. Unfortunately, the name of the man whose military career interests you, I've never heard from my father. I've not seen this name in the documents of my archives either. From February to June 1945, my father was at the front, and at the end of this period, my father was in Moscow, where he was preparing for the war with Japan.
So when we look at somebody like Malinovsky, there is no way that a marshal would sit with a unknown individual. The idea of him playing chess with a member of an enemy nation is a story. It's not a story that I believe at all.
Well, that's fair enough. Things are built up over time.
Indeed, and look, these things get embellished and they get embellished and they get embellished. If we go back to your father and his birthday, we've got this article here.
After the worship, the youngest member of the congregation, Hazy Topchigic, aged 10, recited a poem. Okay, so that's 1934, so that looks at him as being born in 1925.
Correct. And this is his school report.
Oh, this is new. Okay, so we have Topchigic Hazy, student from 33 to 39. If he was born in 1925, then that would have made him, 14 when he finished school.
So, what all of this really establishes is we've got him admitting to the Australian officials that he was born in 1925.
Yes.
We've got independent newspaper reporting telling us that he's 10 in 1934. And then we have a school report, again, supporting the 1925 birth date, not the 1919 birth date.
Okay.
Which means in 1944, he was 20 years of age.
You know, what you're saying makes a lot of sense. You know, a lot of things don't fit now that I've seen all of those dates. There's a lot, obviously, that I will need to take in and mull through, but it certainly comes a long way to helping us on this journey. I'm disappointed that he felt he had a need to exaggerate his life. I didn't need those stories. This journey is certainly unfolding in very strange directions. I had not anticipated to have quite so many things that he had spoken about being torn away. There's no question I will see him differently. So I've got a lot of thinking to do.
The lies Peter's father had told were shocking, but were the truths they were hiding more terrible still? In Perth, journalist Derek Pedley is on the road, hoping to discover the identity of his biological father.
Today I'm going to get the results of my DNA test. My dream outcome would be finding out who my father is and what became of him. I have the name Chaz to work on at the moment. What happens today could change my life.
Hi, Derek. How are you?
Hi, Deborah.
Come on through. It's really nice to have you here.
Thank you.
Come straight through.
After analysing his DNA results, Historian Professor Deborah Gare has pieced Derek's family story together.
The first thing you need to know is that the DNA test was matched against the records. And I'm very excited to tell you that we've been able to find your two pairs of great-grandparents.
Oh, wow.
So Francis Kelsall and his wife, Margaret Evelyn Rowe. We also know about your other great-grandparents on your paternal line. These are the McCarthys. So this is where it gets really interesting, right?
Yeah. What, it isn't already?
So you've got your two great-grandparents here, and you can see that they had 9 children. But there's 2 out of these siblings here that we want to follow as well. These 2 here, right? Now, if I pop those side by side, these 2 families became close for more than one marriage. So you had a brother and a sister from the Kelsalls marry a brother and a sister from the McCarthys.
Right.
And it's their children that we're tracing in trying to determine who your father is. When you see the family tree of all of the children of these 2 marriages, so you see here Francis and Edna, and Velma and Charles. And Francis and Edna had 3 boys, all of whom were born in the 1940s. And so all of whom are candidates to be your father.
Right.
And then from Velma and Charles, they had 4 children. But of the 4 children, only 2 of them were boys. And they were both born also in the 1940s, so also the right age to potentially be your father. Your dad is here in one of these 5.
Wow.
But the sad thing is that of these 5 candidates, only one of them is still alive. We've been able to make contact with a number of their children, and we've been able to do more DNA testing. And from there, we're able to identify which one your dad is.
Oh, my God. Really?
Yeah? And it's this one over here. Your dad was Mervyn McCarthy, and he was born in 1949.
Mervyn McCarthy. Wow. I can't believe it. You found him.
We found him. The really sad news, though, is that he's one of the 4 that aren't alive any longer. But we do have a bit of information about him.
Yeah.
And I do have a photograph. Can I share that with you?
Please.
Yeah. So this is a photo of your dad. I think you'll see the likeness.
Oh, my God.
Is it like a mirror?
Oh, Jesus.
It's a photo of your dad, I think probably in the 1970s. Not too long, probably after he met your mother.
Oh, my God. Mouth. The nose. I'm just blown away. And how long ago did he die?
He died in 2016.
Mervyn James McCarthy. Date of death, November 24, 2016. Age 67 in Mount Hawthorn, which is here in Perth. Wow. That is extraordinary. Oh, so Chaz was a red herring. Mervyn McCarthy. That's incredible.
So the last bit of information that I've got to share with you is that we've managed to track down somebody who knew your dad really well. And that friend is going to be able to tell you lots and lots about your dad.
Oh, wow. Oh, I suppose I've been waiting for this day since I found my adoption papers when I was 15. Merv McCarthy. That name is going to lead me down a whole new path now. I know who he is. And his name and his identity gives me a starting point to find the rest of my family.
That starting point is the pub that was his dad's local. Neil Randall was the former landlord and knew Merv McCarthy well.
G'day.
Derek.
Yes.
Neil.
G'day.
Randall. Yeah,
Pleased
nice
to meet
you. It's a bit of a journey for you.
Yes, it has been.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Merv used to come here every day of the week, and that's exactly where he used to sit.
Right here?
Right here.
Right here, wow.
For about 20 years. So Merv worked as a seismic surveyor and worked on the oil rigs. And in fact, I came across these photos. So this is Merv on the rig itself.
Ah, fantastic.
He loved going to Singapore. In fact, this is where he met his wife-to-be, Sandra.
Ah.
So that's his wedding day.
And this is his wife?
Yes.
This is just all so much to take in. Wow. And so, did Merv and Sandra have children?
They did. 4 boys.
4 boys?
Yeah.
I've got 4 brothers.
And the great news for you is that they want to meet you.
Oh, fantastic. That's just mind-boggling. 4 brothers. 4 brothers. Wow. My mind is blown at the moment. 4 brothers, that's going over and over in my head on a loop. They're suddenly having a brother walk into their life whose existence they were completely unaware of. After so long of my father just being a wild fantasy, he's a reality now. He's a real person. This is one of the biggest things that's ever happened in my life.
For Peter Eden, the shock of discovering his father's fictitious past has got him re-evaluating their entire relationship.
There obviously were a lot of good times, and what I wrestled with was why we had to have the really bad times. You know, we were pretty consistently put down as being stupid, and that starts to become something you believe in and you accept.
It's revived memories of previous attempts to hold open and honest dialogues with him.
This is a letter that I wrote to my father in February 1991. I always looked up to you, almost as a god, but it's important to me to clear the air over some incidents you wrongly punished me for. I will never forget the evening you pushed me through the glass office door because you thought I'd pulled a face at you. The beatings you handed out to us and Mama were worse than anyone deserved. Every member of your family bears scars of your inflictions of discipline. He said to me that this letter had been disloyal, and I was disowned on that. And we didn't speak for 12 months. It was very hard, because I did love him. But we just always had that barrier between us. I don't care what might be said about him and anything he's done wrong. He was my father.
While his father's war stories have been proven to be lies, one question remains. Is he the man in the photo standing over the bodies from the Jewish hospital massacre? Professor Ruth Baylant has been investigating whether Peter's father was affiliated with the right-wing extremist party Arrow Cross. Hungarian Jews endured great suffering during their short but violent reign, Ruth's family included.
So, Peter, I've got some documents here to show you.
Oh, okay. Oh, I can see the Arrow Cross symbol on here and my father's name.
So, this is his membership for the Arrow Cross party.
This absolutely confirms the suspicion that I had that he was part of Arrow Cross.
This is the translation of that document.
I, the undersigned, request my enrolment in the Arrow Cross party. I declare that there are and there were no persons of Jewish race among my parents or grandparents. I understand that should any of the information be untrue, my membership will cease without further notice. This was Budapest 1941, so he would have been 16. That's a very young age to be joining a political movement.
I have another document here for you.
Oh.
And this is a translation of the article.
7th of June 1945, list of Arrow Cross party members in the 5th District.
What was happening in June 1945 is that in each district in Budapest, they were going around and creating lists of those who were associated with the Arrow Cross.
Name roll of Arrow Cross party members grouped by apartment buildings. Ashia Topchigic, what they're saying is he was still known as an Arrow Cross Party member.
So by this date, most of the Arrow Cross Party leaders have either fled or they've been imprisoned.
Yes.
And some of them indeed were executed for their war crimes.
Yes.
You asked me to look into the photo of the Murderous Street Hospital massacre.
I am still quite convinced that man is my father.
I was able to get a list of the names of the men in this photograph.
Really?
For you, yes. And this is the list of the men.
Is Peter finally holding the proof that his father was guilty of a shocking war crime? In Peter Eden's search for the truth about his father, one final question needs answering.
And this is the list of the men in this photograph.
Peter has long suspected his dad took part in a wartime massacre at a Jewish hospital. Now, he's been given a list of the perpetrators.
Ferenc Bitter, Mihaly Vidra, Vince Kaja, Zeno Zaba, Peter Tokaj, Lajos Toboj. So my father's name is not there.
Your father's name is not on the list, and your father is not in this photograph.
Wow. That's a massive relief. That's a massive relief. To think that he may have been involved in something like that, that rattled me to my very foundations. So I'm enormously relieved.
But we have to remember that your father, who was 19 at the time, was living right in the centre of Budapest and was clearly aligned with the Arrow Cross Party. Many young people associated with the Arrow Cross were indeed responsible for the atrocities against the Jewish people in Budapest.
The younger people were.
Yes, it tended to be young men. And so I now have a short video to show you. It's presented by Greta Suvagash. She is an expert on the Jewish history of Budapest.
Peter, as you can see, I'm right beside the beautiful Danube River. I'm standing on the street called Újpesti Rakpart. Right across from me, there is the former apartment house where your father lived from 1941 through the following years. This street was one of the boundaries of the international ghetto from 1944 till 1945. Approximately 40,000 people were crammed into the ghetto, up to 60 to a room. However, they were not immune to the Arrow Cross raids. In fact, on both sides of your family's home, there were sites of documented massacres. It means that your family, your father, could have seen Jews being marched along the river to their tragic fates. Right now, I'm standing next to the memorial called the Shoes on the Danube, dedicated to the 3,500 Hungarian Jews who were killed by the Hungarian Arrow Cross militiamen on the winter of 1944-1945. They were ordered to take off their shoes before being shot at the Danube's edge and floating away down the river.
How do you feel, Peter?
I had heard about that. I can only hope his involvement wasn't to be one of those people. Taking innocent people to their death like that is just... I feel like I must apologise on behalf of my father and those people for all the suffering they put you and your family through.
Thank you, Peter.
Can I give you a hug?
Yeah, sure. Thanks,
you.
Peter.
Hello.
Good to see you.
You too. Come
Thank
in.
you.
So, Peter, what a journey.
Yes, it's been a real roller coaster ride.
I can imagine, because it's like you've had to do a 180-degree turn in your relationship with your father and in
Yes.
what you know about him.
That's exactly right.
So are you angry with your father?
Probably more disappointed. particularly because he pushed and promoted so hard about honesty, integrity, and now I've got to review everything I understood.
Yeah.
I said when we first commenced this journey that I was prepared to accept anything, be it good or bad, but I hadn't prepared myself for the complete stripping down of everything I had thought.
But do you get a sense that there's some peace to be had, some release from a situation you've lived in your entire life?
I've already started to feel a lifting of that weight, and I think I'm on the path to closure. Maybe the number of dreams I have about him will ease off. Maybe the number of times I pick up the phone to ring him, which I still do, will slow down, and I'll be more accepting of his passing and of his life.
So what you're saying is you can let him go?
Absolutely. I think I will be a lot more comfortable in my achievements and my life and what I've done, because my life has been about trying to prove something to him, even though he's been gone for well over 30 years. And now I don't think I need to anymore.
It's really quite a bizarre feeling. I'm going to be a bundle of nerves.
For the very first time, Derek Pedley is about to meet two of his half-brothers.
The boys probably will get a bit of a shock when they see my face for the first time.
Damien and Jamie have come along with their mother, Sandra.
G'day.
G'day.
I'm Derek.
Yeah, Derek. Damien.
Damien.
Nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you too. Give me a hug. To meet you too.
All right, I'm Jamie.
Jamie.
Nice to meet you.
Wonderful to meet you.
Yeah, well, same.
Hi, I'm Sandra.
Hello. How are you?
Nice to meet you.
Can I give you a hug too? Thank you.
You look like Merv too.
This is a spin out, isn't it?
It is. It's completely surreal. Yeah. This is beyond my wildest dreams. I didn't know about your father, my father.
We didn't even know about you either.
How did you guys feel when you found out you had another brother?
Oh, yeah, I spun out. I thought, cool. Like, yeah. Like, if Dad was still here, he'd spin right out.
Yes, he would.
Yeah.
Tell me about Merv. Tell me about your family.
So, we've got some pictures here if you want to see.
I would like to see some pictures.
You can see the similarities right there.
Yeah. Always wondered where this came from.
You got the same hair like Merv.
Same hair? Yes.
No hair.
Yes, yeah, it's gotten a bit thin on top. I lucked out in the genetics, didn't I? You got the full head of hair and I got the receding hairline. There were all sorts of features I didn't know where they'd come from, and now I know. Yeah. Now I know. I can see them in your face. It's just incredible. Was he a good dad?
Yeah, he was a great dad, yeah. Yeah, always there for us whenever, if we're in trouble or anything like that.
It's a lot to take in, isn't it?
It is. I was very nervous today, but
Me
it was
too.
good to meet. It was very good to meet you, man.
It's good to meet you too.
Yeah.
Yes. So this is my son Nash. Yeah. This is Mabel, my little girl. And this here that's Ted, my stepson, and Sydney, my stepdaughter. I can't begin to explain the feeling. I was really scared of being disappointed, and I think deep down I was desperate for answers. And now I've got a happy grin on my face, and I feel like the pressure has been released. I got the answers I was looking for, and they're fantastic answers. 4 brothers, a father who looks like me. He was a good man who was respected and loved. And this is going to change me, and I won't know just how much for quite some time. It's going to take a while for this to settle into my soul.